Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's message is for Lightworkers. I have been working to put this together and they've just been giving it to me in bits and pieces all morning long, so I have a ton of notes that are sitting here that I'm going to reference. But it has to do with a certain type of Lightworker, people like me. If you resonate with me in a way that is kind of like, yeah, that's what I do too, and that's how I experience things too, then this message is probably going to be for you. It feels like there are going to be people that are at different places on their timeline, so this may apply to you later, or it already did apply to you. It may be that you're a part of a different wave of light workers who awakened at a different time, but it seems like this is the kind of category for the type of light worker that you are. First of all, if you're not sure if you're a light worker, if you're watching this video, I'm pretty sure you are. And it really doesn't have to mean that you are a healer that does videos on YouTube or someone who reads cards for money for other people. It really is just someone on an ascension path who is committed to strengthening their own light, and they just said work in it. So you essentially are healing things, you're healing shadows from the past, knowingly, actively, and what it's doing is creating space for more light codes to be downloaded into your light body, which then expands out and shines those codes and that light on other people, on everyone around you, anyone that you are come into contact with, anyone that you are around. So essentially, you are on a path of strengthening your light body so that it shines brighter and brighter and brighter, creating more and more space for more and more light in order to help to awaken other people, to create an environment around you of solid manifestation for a stable community, a stable collective, this new earth, this new reality. So as you connect with people that you resonate, like me, and messages that you resonate, you're being activated to new light codes that are activating certain things in your light body to actually transmit that to other people. You're like a walking light transmitter. You're like a message transmitter without even needing to do anything. You just are it. Essentially, anyone who is awake, who is waking up, it seems will eventually be a light worker. There are some of us who are more actively working our light and do it for a living, who, have this as their job and have created their lives around it. But there are also people who are just a part of that kind of spiritual growth that work their light in very, very subtle ways that are super important too. So if you are not sure, if you're comparing yourself to other people, to other light workers that you consider light workers, and you don't consider yourself one, I have a feeling that you are. So work it. So this one specifically is about, a lot of people call certain types of guides on this journey as Wayshowers. They are the ones who are leading, who are guiding you, who are giving you messages, who have opened themselves up to be channels for messages meant to guide you and to teach you how to go about doing that, or showing you the things that they see in order to help you along on your path. They are healers. Not all of them do, active energy healing, but they themselves in their light body possess the ability to heal other people, sometimes just by, again, like I said, just by being around them. They are meant to be guides, to light the way, to show the way, to actively say, come on guys, let me show you how to do this. Let me help you on your journey in order to, it's part of their mission is showing the way. And I think that all of us are Wayshowers. For anyone who resonates with us, who is maybe further back on our on a timeline similar to ours, if they resonate with us and they're going through things that we have previously gone through, just having gone through it ourselves is enough to have shown the way for them, because it kind of lights the path for them. Your expanded light body leaves a trail of light behind you, and they can see that, and they resonate with the vibration of that, and they are coming up behind you, and you are guiding them. If you resonate and want and feel the call to be more in that arena actively, and putting in more effort into making that your mission and your life's work, get in touch with me and we will dig into your guidance about how to go about doing that. What are the next steps? What do you need to be clearing out? What kind of mindset do you need to be switching around just a little bit in order to really fully step into alignment for that? I'm here to help you. All of my information for that, by the way, is down in the box below. You can just go to my website, and typically the best session to be able to get any kind of guidance in that way, any kind of spirit. Archangel Gabriel just stepped in all of a sudden. It feels like he just stepped in and was like, oh, this is a message specifically for someone who has recently started working with Archangel Gabriel, or recognizing that he is around and that they are messengers. They're trying to figure out, okay, all right, that's what it is. So there is a group of you who are Wayshowers, who are wanting to hone your skills in card reading, and I know I've mentioned that in videos before, and you're coming to me in order to start working on your card reading skills. I am developing that, figuring out how I'm going to be offering that as a service, and I'm going to be opening another Facebook, like a practice tarot card reading group. I'm going to be doing that very soon, so stay tuned for that. It feels like Archangel Gabriel was like, hey, tell those guys that that's what you're working on. So this group that I'm talking about, so that's the Wayshowers. And my twin was here last week to visit me, and we were watching all kinds of Disney videos, because they're all just one long channeled message for me while I watch it. So we were watching Moana, and one of the terms that she used in there, or that Maui used in there, was, thank you, Gabriel. Gabriel just said, that's another message for someone about Hawaii. If you have been wondering if you should go to Hawaii, or if you have been intrigued by something about Hawaii, if it's been calling you for some reason, this is some sort of validation for you from Gabriel, saying there's a reason that this chick just mentioned Maui. Is that it? Yeah, that was it. So Maui talked about, he called them Wayfinders. And I thought that was really interesting. And I resonated with it immediately. I knew that it was a message right away that there is something to be said for Wayshowers and teachers and guides and leaders and people on this path who are helping along just so many of us. I have had so many of them that I've relied on throughout my entire journey from the very beginning. It's especially the people who are newly awakened. They're just looking to someone to start to put them on the right path. Where can I find answers? Can you help me? Can you help me? How do I make sense of this? And how do I do this? And the Wayshowers are so important, and I am one of them. But the idea of Wayfinders really dug into my brain in a way that was, they started planting seeds about what that looks like. What does that mean? What is a Wayfinder? How is it different than a Wayshower? The Wayshowers are, it seems, the Wayfinders are pioneers. They're carving the path out. They are pathfinders. They are seers. They are very powerful seers who put puzzle pieces together, who just instinctively and without even really being able to control it, meet this person and they talk to this person, and they are kind of grid workers, like people grid workers who have people guided to them that, without even knowing it, most of them, 1111 on my recording right now, give them messages. And it's almost like this person is delivering, I'll speak about me as one of these people. I have clients, I have just people leaving messages on my videos and comments and stuff that I was guided to check in with you for some reason. There's something about their energy that I needed to kind of extract some information from in order to piece it together with my other client who emailed me and said, oh, by the way, I had this dream. I'm not sure why I'm telling you about it, but I needed to tell you about it. I hope that's okay. And it's absolutely okay, because I read through it and immediately, because I'm so in tune with my resonance, I immediately know what the relevant message is, because it clicks into place with something that had happened the day before or something like that. I'm constantly compiling all of this information, and I use that in order to just really allow myself to be led to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. I'm not looking 10 steps forward. I don't know what's forward. Everything forward is new. It's like carving this path through, to me it looks like a drill almost. Like when they're showing me like a mining reference. If they're digging a new hole in a mine, those people who are digging that hole, it's all brand new. There are things that are carved in stone that are, they show me very solid sections of the matrix that have been put in place for eons now, that we are meant to start to carve through, to dig into the truth of them, to clear out illusions, to shine our light and create this path that the people who are awakening on our timeline, who are meant to come up along with us and behind us, that's the path that they then are awakening to and stepping onto. That path has already been created by alchemists, these wayfinders that are carving the way. They are doing that through their own healing, through their empathic experience. It's almost as if them just being them and doing their shit on their journeys is rippling out to the rest of the collective, because they have such a strong awareness of how we are all one. They are aware that the work that they are doing, we are doing, is not only for us, but for everybody else, and that it has an almost immediate effect on the people who are of the same vibration as us. And so as we do that, it's almost like, I don't know why they keep showing me this, but it like they're miners and they have these hats on and they have those bright lights right here so that they can see in front of them. And every time they look back, the picture in my head, it looks like a lighthouse beacon. So they're showing me from going, looking at really just a stone wall that they are digging and carving through in new ways. This is being done. This has never been done before. They're creating new reality every time that they push through even just 1 inch. They're creating a new reality. And they are the people who are setting up this new earth. They are grid workers. They're earth healers. They are rainbow warriors. And they've shown me that that's the essence of Wayfinders. So what they're doing is it's almost like they're explorers too. They're exploring this new area. But at the same time, they're healing it from past abuse, past misuse, and turning around and lighting the way and shining out that beacon for the Wayshowers, who then show and shine their light as beacons for the people that have been set on this path. So it looks to me also like there's this V. They've always shown me like the way geese fly in a V. And the most powerful and the most rested and the best flyers at the time, the ones who are the most energized, are flying in the front, carving the way, because the air resistance is the toughest to get through up there at the top. And then as they start to, and the others ride their airstream because it's easier to ride in that airstream because the way is being carved. And then what they show me is when the one in the front starts to get a little bit tired, then they switch positions, and the one who was in the back, or someone who was further back who's more rested, then flies up to the front and takes the brunt of the wind. And so within these Wayfinders, there are soul groups who are the geese that are flying in the V together, who I feel like are being called to me right now to come together in order to form this V and to start really, really carving through. The more we group together, the more energies there will be to switch places in order to continuously carve this and not need to carve through a little bit and then come back and rest. If there's only 3 geese, it's going to take a lot longer because they're going to need to rest a little bit longer. If you have more people in that group, within that collective, more of the one, within those Wayfinder soul groups, you're going to be able to fly longer, faster, in a more measured way, continuously, and there's just going to be an unending supply of support for each of the legs of the trip, is what they're telling me. So, all right, Archangel Michael is assisting. I mean, he really is just a part of who you are. If you have a strong affinity for Archangel Michael, this message may be for you too. He is a part of you. If you have not done any kind of calling in or merging or alignments with his energy, and not just where you work with him and you call him in and he's there to support you, if you have not invoked his energy within you so that you actually just are his energy, I would suggest doing that. I'll put a link to a meditation for that down in the box below. My twin created one of them, and I'll put a link to that meditation on his page. It's a really beautiful way to not only feel the energy of support, safety, stability, and groundedness at all times, but to consciously draw on that in those moments when you're going to need it more. Archangel Uriel is here, and Uriel essentially is the light of God, the light of Goddess. It's the light of spirit that is that light on your lighthouse. It's the beacon. It's the light bulb. Archangel Uriel is essentially the light bulb for that, for your lighthouse. And he's there. He is here in order to really for you to get into a place where you're able to channel that continuously as well. But it's also about maintaining that light. They show me the lighthouse, and there's another book that I was getting messages from about a lighthouse keepers, the keepers of the lighthouse, who have a really tough job of maintaining the light, maintaining the glass around the light in order to reflect that the purity and the strongness of that light. I don't know why that matters, the strongness of it. That light as far out into the water as it possibly can. And it's a super important job because it obviously needs to shine as far as it can for people to see that beacon. So Archangel Uriel is here to help maintain your connection with your intuition, to show you the best ways to keep it maintained. Self-care. I have a whole list of those things that are coming up. But that list, it feels like, is from Archangel Uriel. Archangel Raziel. If you don't know anything about Archangel Raziel, look this guy up. He always shows up to me as a rainbow. I have a very strong connection to rainbow energy, to the combined prism light, the diamond light created by all of the colors of the rainbow, those rays. If you resonate with that, this message is probably for you too. Archangel Raziel is there to show you the mysteries hidden in rainbow light and rainbow energy. That has to do with the chakra system. The rainbow light, they're showing me Raziel is here to either activate you to the knowledge of the power of your chakra system, to give you validation that the work that you're doing with chakras is super important, that it is leading you to be able to create this, it's like a generator power. Your chakra system is like a light generator. And keeping that in line, he's working in union with Archangel Uriel in order to keep you empowered, keep you generated to be able to shine the light as steadily and as far as you can. It's helping to maintain that generator of light power within your light body. That's what they tell me. Mary Magdalene. God love you, Mary Magdalene. She just is me. She just, I invoked her energy too. She is coming out through my words. She is coming out through what you see in my light, in my eyes. She is just such a powerful lighthouse goddess force. And she hasn't been around for me a lot lately, and that has to do with me. That has to do with stuff that I've been healing lately. But as soon as they started talking about the lighthouse and the Wayfinders being the lighthouse, she showed up in full force. And so she's here to show you the energy of her own Wayfinder kind of spirit and codes. If you haven't read, they're telling me Sophia Code. I've mentioned this before in one of my readings. If you haven't watched or listened to, I don't know why they said watched or listened, but apparently there's something that some of you need to watch that is Mary Magdalene. Maybe it's the Mary Magdalene movie. Maybe there's a Sophia Code movie that I don't know about. And the Sophia Code book, I had mentioned it to one of my clients, and she said that she was listening to it. Some of you maybe resonate more with audiobooks than you do with books, but there's a reason that they had me say both of those things. The Sophia Code, there is a Divine Feminine Mary Magdalene initiation that I feel like they're guiding some of you to do. If you look at that and you resonate with that, then go get that book and do that initiation. And she's waiting to mentor you. That's what it is. Kuan Yin also. Kuan Yin is here. She is the just like ambassador of compassion and pure divine love and karuna energy. Being able to translate that from what you know and what you see as a powerful seer. Sometimes it's hard to anchor what you see down into your body then and to apply it for yourself. She's here to help you to anchor the knowing and the energy that you see contained in the powerful unconditional love flow. Anchor it down into your heart space. That's what she's here for. And the Sophia Code also has an initiation for Kuan Yin. She is waiting to mentor some of you also. There is a very strong shamanic presence. Recently, it's been creeping up on me, and I've been more and more in tune with it, but recently it's just been in full force, and that has to do with the energy of rainbow warriors. If you are familiar, if you're not familiar with what rainbow warriors are or the prophecy of the rainbow warriors, I would look that up too. That's really going to be interesting to some of you because we are it. They're telling me the Essenes also. If you resonate with the energy of the Essenes, this message is for you too. One of the things that they were pointing out to me too, a difference between Wayfinders and Wayshowers, is that a lot of times I am a seer, and so I get the information, I channel the information, I show you, and then I have kind of a network of healers and other light workers that I will recommend for my clients. I give them the information, I give them the guidance, I give them the tools, I give them the suggestion for whatever tools they might need or healing modalities that they might need. And so I am carving the way for them on their path. I'm giving them the information that they need to push forward in that way. And then they kind of fall back on the information and the healing support of the Wayshowers. And those Wayshowers are, teaching them and showing them not only which way they need to go and how to go about healing this thing for themselves, but activating them to the ability to heal themselves. So I do all of those things as well. I do all of those healing modalities, but there are certain ones that I don't do that I recommend to other people. But there are some times where my guidance is to recommend or refer one of my clients to one of these other people, and I'm kind of like, well, I do chakra restoration and stuff too, and whatever is happening in the collective, whatever is happening in the universe, it is more important at that point to continue to carve these paths out for the people that are being guided to me. So there are other times, there are other phases that we are going through in the collective where I will stick with a certain group of people or certain clients, and I will I will have sessions with them, 2 and 3 and 4 of them in a row, and be with them longer on their healing journey, carve the path, and then stay with them and help them with the healing part of that path. And then there are times where there is so much going on. There are other Wayshowers and Lightworkers who have stepped into their role as healers, that after we carve the path for these people who have been awakened, these light workers are stepping up and saying, okay, I got him. Okay, I got him. You carved the way. Here, I got him. I got him. I got him. So then we are reaching more and more people who are awakening at a faster rate and carving out their path for them, helping them to understand what it is to start carving paths. We are manifestors who are creating these new realities for people. And there are more people coming into these Wayfinder roles, more and more and more. So I feel like more of the information is going to come out as we talk about this, as you guys respond to this, as you guys comment about this. You're going to be giving each other information. You're going to be giving me information too. But this Mercury retrograde has been super important for the healing of the Wayfinders and their ability to really step into their role as manifestors. It is time. The biggest way to carve out these paths is through alchemy and manifestation. If you have not fully stepped into your own light and your own power to be able to do that for yourself, it's time now. And that is going to result in paths being carved out for so many other people. So Mercury retrograde, Merlin is here also. He's been around a lot. He has been helping with the energy of clearing out the dark feminine, clearing out the curse witch energy that I talked about in the last post that I put on my community tab on the page. If you haven't seen that, head over there. There's a picture of me and my twin on there and a description about the work that we were doing in the last couple of weeks to clear out that dense dark feminine energy that has been holding the feminine back in really stepping into her power, stepping fully into her own light, so that she can then start carving the way for herself and then carving the way for other people. Her path that she is carving is revealing more and more her ability to tap into her powerful seer abilities and to start carving those paths for other people. Mercury retrograde. I have never loved it. I've never hated it. I don't fear Mercury retrograde. But it is heavy and it is really, really dense and hard to get through sometimes, and it's so emotional and brings up so much stuff sometimes from the past, especially things that we feel like we've already healed. And it just gets to be like, how much of this do I need to see? How much of this do I need to do? Like, it's just, it gets to be exhausting. The work is never ending, but I just need to remind you that you do have to take time to rest. Even if the information is there, even if there are energies coming up to be released, make sure that you're taking care of yourself and really grounding yourself on a daily basis. Your self-care is going to be so important as you're going through these things. Because if you don't know what retrograde is, it just means that the planet is in an orbit, or is in alignment with us in a way that creates the illusion of it moving backwards. So the retrograde is, it looks like it's going backwards. It's not. It is still moving forward, and we are still moving forward. But what it's doing for us, and because it's an illusion, it has to do with our sight. It has to do with our vision. And so what it does is gives us the opportunity to look back in time at our own illusions, at traumas that we were under the illusion that controlled us, but with our evolved eyes, we now can see that it was a program, that it was trauma conditioning, it was matrix conditioning that we have been through, that our parents had been through. It's down the ancestral line, it's on a lot of different timelines, but the retrograde is giving us the chance to go back and look at those timelines that we were on when we were under this conditioning, when we were going through these things, when we were acting out the energy of these things, and healing and sealing those timelines. So as dense as it is, and as emotional as it is, and all of the shit that keeps coming up from the past, just over and over again during this retrograde period, it is dense and it is meant to be right there in front of your face for a reason. It's actually a gift. If you can look at it in a way that is filled with light, we are accepting in these shadows and saying, thank you for showing me the lessons for those again. I see them. I really do see them. Why is it that I have to look at them again? Because now is the time to be able to, because retrograde, it appears that it's moving backwards, but you are actually moving forward at the same time. The illusion is that you're not still moving forward, that if you have to look back into the past, that you're not still moving forward. That's the illusion. You're given the gift of being able to look back, knowing how far you've come, with the energy of this now moment. You are taking this now moment back to the past with you. Archangel Metatron is helping for you to actually travel back in time, to see those shadows, to revisit things that are bringing up certain reactions in you, bringing up certain emotions in you, trauma memories from times that you have never seen before, or from times that you have seen many times before, where you're just like, where's this even coming from? It could be bleed over from past lives, or it could just be that you healed those things, you saw them, you could see the connection in your lives, you recognized where the trauma was for you, but you weren't in a place, your light body hadn't been upgraded enough, you hadn't received the codes for taking this healed body back in time to then heal that. It's almost like it needed to sit and marinate for a little bit after you shined the light on it. That, let's say it happened when you were 4 years old. That 4-year-old child, once you shined the light on them and saw that they had a trauma, they needed a little bit of time to be able to adjust their eyes. Once if they're in the dark for a while and you shine the light on them, their eyes have to adjust. And so you can't just like rush in and give them all of these gifts and all of this healing and just say, jump in head first. It was just giving them a little bit of time. And by them, I also mean you. You are doing that from this now moment, changing the past. We're going back to that 4-year-old now and saying, remember what I showed you earlier? Remember how I said that I'm shining the light on you and you're safe and it's okay? I'm here with you. You just wanted a little bit of time to trust me and get used to the fact that you don't have to be in the dark anymore, that you don't have to hide in your closet anymore. They needed time to be able to trust you and trust that. Now is the time for us to go back there and say, okay, you ready to get out of the closet now? Because you and I have work to do. That you have grown so much since I saw you the last time. It really is. You're ready to graduate. You're ready to heal. And you're ready to step onto this new timeline that I have just created. I've paved the way in this now for a new timeline. I'm going back to get my 4-year-old and take her with me on this timeline. And I'm creating the reality for all of us, all 41 of us. on my timeline, plus all of the ones in all the lifetimes before that. I had to be upgraded to a point enough to be able to travel back to each one of those and to recognize the connections to other lifetimes. And I had to clear out a lot of shit. I had to peel away a lot of layers to be able to allow in the light codes to be able to do that. So retrograde is giving me the chance to do that. We're going back in time, shine the light for our younger selves, whichever ages those are. Show them how to cut the cords from anyone in their life that they have had a traumatic attachment to. And then that 4-year-old, as she moves on this new timeline, is going to continuously do that. She's actually awakened and descending from that point on. So we're giving her the power, we're igniting the power in that 4-year-old or whatever age it is for you, to be able to send the energy of that forwards and backwards and around her and be in her light from then on and grow from there. When we do that, what we're doing is we're freeing that 4-year-old, and we need to also consciously be, now that she is ready, now that that space has been cleared wherever she had her damage. A lot of you, it's in the sacral chakra, which is connected to a lot of the other ones. But there are soul fragments that were lost when those things happened to that 4-year-old. Now that she trusts you, now that you are in a place of being able to trust yourself, trust your guidance, trust your knowing, that 4-year-old is able to trust you. And the piece of her that was lost, you then, as the finder, are going to call that piece home to yourself. And I keep hearing that call from Frozen 2, again with the Disney, that the call of that, what is that song? I just hear it. If you guys haven't heard that song, it's Into the Unknown. Into the Unknown, Idina Menzel. Oh God, that song is just so powerful, and that movie is one long channeled message too. If you resonate with this Wayfinder energy, watch that movie. It's you. You are her. You're like the 5th element. Creating that call, it's like those soul fragments are calling to you. And that's why right now we're being given the opportunity to go back, energetically heal whatever ages we need to, or whatever timelines we need to, and shift all of them onto this new timeline. And what we're doing then, after you call the soul fragments back to yourself, we're sealing up the portals to those other timelines. That 4-year-old is not stepping onto any of those other timelines anymore. And we're sealing up those portals. Part of the work that Wayfinders do is that as I am experiencing these things, as I go back and get my 4-year-old, they are showing me, okay, call back your soul fragment. And I'm like, all right, I wasn't expecting to do that, but okay, I'm going to call back my soul fragment. I was doing this as I was doing Reiki on myself, and I was doing chakra restoration on all of my chakras. And when I get to a certain chakra, it was my root chakra. I was there with my 4-year-old. She was there. She was ready to come out of the closet. She was ready to come out of the dark. She's like light and smiling and happy. And then they told me, okay, call back that piece of her and then seal that portal, seal that closet up so that it's no longer even, there's no door there anymore. So they told me to do that. And so I did that. Part of the role of Wayfinders is to be led. Just see the way that they want you to see it and allow yourself to be guided to do the things that you're just being guided to do, even if you've never done it before. There are so many times that my Divine Masculine and I are just like, they just had me perform psychic surgery on my knee and remove this like program from this, and then I had to hand it off to the Syrians, and then I had to open and close this portal, and I had to walk around it 7 times. I don't know why. They just told me to do these things. And we just are so now able to lean into our guidance. We do them without question. That's part of carving our path. It's part of creating new realities. It's part of creating new modalities. What I'm doing also at the same time is activating those new gifts and those ways of healing myself and doing those things for my 4-year-old. And so along the timeline there, forwards and backwards, I then am activating those gifts completely along my timeline. So one of the other things that has always restricted me, held me back, pissed me off is labels and definitions. And it's so in a box. And my daughter even said it one day. We were talking about, I don't even know what the word was. She was like, whoever thought of that word? Whoever thought of that word, like meaning that also? I'm like, I don't know. What do you want it to mean? Let's reprogram it. Let's reprogram these words, especially the ones that have stigmas attached to them. I have always been the kind of person who is like a black sheep and bucked the trend, and I have never had a good relationship with a boss of mine. I've never been afraid of the big bad boss, and I always question the boss because I'm just like, it was a hierarchy and it was about control and not leadership, like guiding people to be their better selves, to contribute to the entire company. It was about, you do things my way, and I'm like, no, fuck you. I have good ways too. And that's part of it, is that I just can't be, I don't want to be put into a box. I'm so intuitive and I see things. I am such a powerful seer that I would see that things wouldn't be working a certain way, or something wasn't gonna, it just didn't feel right. I wasn't seeing it the right way. I'm like, this is going to turn out bad. And what if we try it this way? Or what if we do it this way? I know we've never done that before, but that kind of innovation and that kind of intuitive growth and way of being every single day, I understand is not always easy for a boss to flow with. But that's part of the Wayfinder in me. I don't like to be restricted by rules and regulations, and it's not like I don't like to follow laws or rules, but some of them are just so outdated. They were made for that time period. That word was meant to be defined in a certain way for that time period. Why don't we shift and change it? And there are some words that has happened with, like literally doesn't mean what it was meant to mean when it was first defined. But neither does witch. But it incites a certain reaction. There's strong programming on certain words and certain actions that are just so limiting. And I am fucking limitless. So don't try to put me into a box. I am going to carve the way for what it feels like. Sometimes I can't even see but 2 feet in front of me, but I'm still going. I don't know why I need to go this way or why that word pisses me off, but I know that I'm going to be shown it, and I'm relying on my knowing and my inner sight and my ability to see in the darkness that I've been upgraded to. Some of you have been upgraded to Lyrian cat energy, they're telling me. And their ability, and owls. Some of you have a real affinity for owls because they can see in the dark. There's something about the feminine's sight being upgraded with that Lyrian energy and with the owl energy. It feels like Pleiadians, who are like bird energy, hawks. upgraded to be able to see in the dark. They are some of the wayfinders who are able to see in the dark, who carve the path for people who have gotten stuck in fear, not being able to move themselves forward because of the darkness. That was another thing that they were showing me. Fuck fear. Fear. Fear, 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 trigger, trigger. I hate those words. I hate them. I hate the word hate. But I feel very strongly about fear and what it does to me. The reaction of fear and the way that why are my glasses crooked? It's driving me bonkers. I'm just going to take them off. Some of you, that's weird. Some of you, I think, need to see my eyes for some reason. Some of you need to resonate with my eyes and the message that I'm trying to get out right now. Fear. The time period in my life where I was able to really see the essence of fear within me and the stigma that's on that word and where it comes from and the power it generates and creates just by saying it. I'm afraid. I am scared. You are now defining yourself as restricted. There are reasons that we feel the energy of fear, but really what it is I am in the energy of trauma. I am experiencing a timeline where I was abused. But we don't have the capability and the awareness to see that that's what it is, to pinpoint it. So the program has us say, I'm scared. I am fear. I am sitting in the middle of fear. And it immediately connects in with your root chakra and makes you feel ungrounded, unsafe, and not stable and out of control. The feeling of being out of control has so many effects connected to it that aid in relying on the matrix, because they have so many conveniences and so many strongholds that when we are afraid, we can go to this and attach to this, and it keeps us controlled. Money. So that affinity for not liking definitions, it applies to my journey as a twin flame too. Even just labeling myself twin flame, I feel like it puts me in such a box, because the twin flame realm has definitions around it that have been put in place by people who were experiencing things, who were being shown things that were appropriate to their level of ascension at that time. But those definitions were only appropriate for those people at that point of their consciousness on their journey. For the people who were ascended and given light codes past that, do those definitions still apply to those people? Probably not. That's for those people to decide and to carve the path for, and turn around and say, look at what I learned today. I thought that it was this way, and now they're showing me something different. I can see that we were meant to believe it was this certain way for this amount of time in order to get us to this point. And now what I'm seeing makes a lot of sense that they had us do that for a while. And now what I'm seeing is just so much bigger and bolder, because I was able to see through the veil of fear and restriction and box. I took myself out of the box definition and stepped past it. And now the universe is just like, la, I have so many more things to show you. I can't wait to reveal things to you as you're ready for them to be revealed to you. The problem is that people who have not quite gotten to that resonance yet need those definitions. It comes from a place of need, because they are not quite removed enough from the stability of the matrix. As people awaken, they're just slowly, slowly peeling away layer by layer by layer. And if they don't have the definitions and the understanding and the kind of belief system that they need to move them forward, even as the box is expanding, it does still keep them in a place where they feel safe enough to continue moving forward. That's necessary. It's necessary for some of you who have your belief system put into place. My belief system is that the belief system that I have created over time about the twin flame realm, about this journey, about what it means to be a twin, what it means to have a twin, what the twin flame energy feels like. The only belief system that I really have come to know is the baseline that I need is that it is ever changing and expanding. And that we really only know as much as we are able to know up until this now moment. Past that, we can lean in as much as we want, but we can't live in that future. We are living in the now moment. The belief system of I am open to however it develops, because I know in my Wayfinder mind that what I find is new and amazing and filled with light, and even if it feels darker and unsure, I trust that I am always supported, and I trust that I am being guided towards more light. More light. Why do I not want to head towards more light? Why is there a fear barrier that holds us back? Why does it hold us back? What is that wall? What is that fear? It's just attachments and cords to trauma and programming and the illusion of a lack of control, a lack of ability. It is your light at some point on your timeline being dimmed. You're being forced to dim your light. And all of the work that we've been doing up until now, Lightworkers, the more that you shine your light, the more people can just, without even needing any kind of explanation, they can just sit in the middle of your light and feel that safety enough to dissolve the fear barrier. The fear barrier is there because there's something really amazing on the other side. That's why it's there, to stop you from seeing that. To keep you at bay, to keep you in the box. It's an illusion. But our human bodies, our 3D existence, has conditioned us to connect with the feeling of that. Our intuition, our knowing, our mind has, because of these programs, because of these traumas, disassociated from the feelings in our body. So anytime there are programs that ignite in our body, like fear or anxiety or rage or anger, there's something underneath of it, but it is meant to keep us at bay. The Wayfinders are showing you that through my experience, through my empathic experience of having gone through this ahead of time, I'm showing you that it's okay. It's okay. And fuck fear. Because it's just an illusion and a liar, and I'm the living proof of it. Whatever light you see in me is a reflection of you, of your ability to do the same thing, to lean in the same way, to heal the same things that I have healed in order to get to that point of view. And you are the wayfinder for other people to go through it too. So get on board. I did not plan for this recording to be so long, but God love Mary Magdalene. Okay, so there are a lot of important tools for us to be able to use to get through this Mercury retrograde time and to get through our path as wayfinders. How do we manage to continuously barrel through rock and dark places and find our way and be unsure and push through those veils of fear and continue on and continue on and continue on all the time? It's exhausting. It's really fucking hard. Don't think that being a warrior in this way, the way that you guys have seen me warrior through things, there are reasons why I don't post videos every single week. I don't think I've posted a video for probably 2 weeks now, maybe 3 weeks, because I, in those times, am barreling through healing and messages and being led on scavenger hunts and unearthing information about Native Americans and witches in Maryland and England and digging into root causes for all of these things that the collective are going through, that I have gone through, and healing them, going back, calling back soul fragments, cutting cords, cutting attachments, digging into Akashic records to burn the pages from the Akashic records for myself and for the rest of the collective. It's a job. My Divine Masculine, we will just call him Lloyd, because that is his label. And Divine Masculine even just limits him. It limits who he is. It limits who he is to me. It limits what our connection is. His name is Lloyd. He is my person. He was here, guided to be here last week for a week, even though I had just been there in January and been to see him in England. And again, that post that I posted on my community tab, I talked about that a little bit too. As soon as he said that he was coming over, I was like, I know, right? I feel like I need to be here for some reason. And I just knew, and I was guided to know that there was something going on in the collective that was getting ready to happen that needed the support and the alchemy of us being together in the same space in order to help facilitate and find the way for the healing that was happening. It's like we are actively doing the healing for us, and it ripples out to the collective. It's part of our role is doing that. So it's exhausting. And I am getting healing from many different modalities. I have all of these tools in my belt to be able to maintain my energy during this time. But I also have 2 kids. And so they have started being mirrors for me and mirrors for certain situations in my life that I am observing them too, handling everything and being in my role of mother and light worker at the same time, because I'm a seer and am connecting the dots for everything that they're going through as well, and them as my mirrors. It takes a lot to stay in the energy of that. So those wayfinders who are playing a really important role in carving the way for other wayfinders as well. It really is a full-time job, because we just are it. We are the new path. So I'm living it 24/7. Is it my job? Yeah, it's my job, but it's my life. It's my everyday life. I'm just doing it. I'm just being it. I have this card sitting on my desk. I just am it. And in order to empower myself, I am consciously, continuously peeling away the layers. Spirit has us on the fast track. You, me, Lloyd, has us on the fast track for something big. There's a reason that I am working at this pace in order to heal things for myself and for you. Why we are healing this stuff, to carve the way for massive healing, easier, faster healing for everybody else as well. But I rely on connections with other light workers, with connections that I've made, clients that I have who are very powerful and who have been honing their skills and who have become soul family for me that I go to and need healing from. It's an energy exchange. These energy exchanges are helping to balance things as we heal these things in the collective. Part of the call of Mary Magdalene to these other Wayfinders is it's time to come home. It is time to find your soul family for that support. It doesn't need to be as hard as it has been. Now is the time, now that you have built up your reserves of self-assured, self-knowing, undoubtedness in who you are and in what your light can do, the effect that it has on the world around you. You doing it at a pace the way that you had been doing it was necessary to build that up in you. Now it's time to lean in and let in. Part of letting go is not just letting go, it's letting in. So it's time to let in, call in your soul family. Steve Noble just posted a meditation with that same concept. Calling in your soul family, releasing past attachments, releasing people from the past, releasing things that no longer serve you, cutting cords and attachments to things that are holding you back in order to make space for the soul family that is out there waiting to support you and waiting for your support. He just posted one. I'm going to put a link to that in the box below. He also has a meditation that I did this morning that is a set of affirmations. It's called I Am a Starseed Magician. I'm going to put that in the box below. It feels like there is like a 3-step process that they want you to go through after having watched this video. They want you to listen to that first meditation that I told you about, absorb the Reiki healing that I have already put into this, that is just around this, the energy of these videos all the time. Consciously make the effort that I am receiving the healing support that I need in order to be able to travel back in time and heal these root chakra issues for myself right now. Set that intention, and then go and listen to the other meditation, the I Am a Starseed Magician. And if you can, just allow yourself to receive it. Don't even think about it. Just bask in the energy of what he's telling you you are. It's almost, you don't even have to think about it. Obviously, it's subliminal too, and so it's being ingrained in your mind, but it's like a pep talk. It is like a pep talk. I am a pioneer. I am a pathfinder. I am a lighthouse beacon for the creating the reality for this new earth, for happiness and the invocation of unconditional love, the ignition of unconditional love into this collective of people. I am peace. He's spouting all of these things at you. You're just like, yeah, I am. Yeah, coach, what else? It's amazing. Allow yourself to just sit and bask in it. Don't even think about it. Just be it. Allow yourself to be it. That's one of the tools that is being upgraded right now. Your ability to meditate. If you don't meditate, if you don't have some sort of thing that is meditation for you, that is able to get you into a still space in your mind, it's time to find whatever that is for yourself. If you need help with that, again, let's dig into your guidance, book a session with me, and let's really dig into the guidance of what you're missing. What is it that you're not quite seeing just yet in how to get yourself to that space? Meditation can be so many different things, but if we're talking about, with your headphones and listening to a guided meditation, there's also many different types of meditation that you can be doing. It's not just always goal-oriented, where I'm doing a meditation in order to heal past lives, or whatever it is that you're doing work for. It's not always goal-oriented, where you're focusing on it and you are getting yourself to a place of manifesting those things and creating those things with your mind. There is a time and place for those goal-oriented meditations. There's also a time for meditations that are affirmations, ones that you can just sit back and bask in and not have to put in the effort, but they are a constant barrage of light that is helping to offset the energy of the shadows that you have been in. Healing all of these things, healing all of these traumas is not easy, and sometimes the energy of those traumas attaches to you and you get stuck in them and you are replaying them. And what it is your 4-year-old just getting used to the light, taking the time that she needs to get used to the light. She just needs to be left alone for a little bit. You don't need to sit there with her and say, are you okay? I heard that this thing happened to you. Do you know, did you want to talk about it? Or she just needs a little bit of time to be left alone, to adjust, to integrate. Those are the times where you're just kind of leaning back, sitting back. 1:11:11 on my recording. That is a funny message from Spirit. Thank you very much. That was a personal message. There are times where sitting in those shadows, you need the light shined on you for a little bit. You need the light shined on you with the reflection of your own light. That's the most effective light that you're ever going to have, is your own. Because you see it, you feel the effect of it, but when you realize that it's your own, it empowers you. It powers you up so much faster and so much more effectively than needing to be around someone else or absorbing somebody else's light. That's what the power of having a partner on this journey, who is a powerful mirror for you, who will just mirror back to you your own light. It's not that you're absorbing theirs. They're not sending theirs. They are just mirroring back to you your own light, telling you, you're so strong. You're so beautiful. Look at what you just did. You are powerful. Just seeing you for who you are. That can be anybody. That can be your person. That can be your best friend. That can be me. That can be, the readers that you follow. It can be your soul. It needs to be your soul family. It's time to find your soul family who reflect the essence of that back to you. It's very important in this line of work. Okay, so types of meditations. Affirmations, goal-oriented, where you are healing, you're time travel, you're going to past lives, you are doing whatever it is that you're doing. You're setting intentions and you're going and you're doing these things. Grounding meditations. Meditations where it's the opposite of that goal-oriented, and it really is about clearing your mind, clearing out the clutter, and getting down and anchoring into your body space, getting in touch with your body, your breath, what it's telling you, and just turning it all off, grounding into Mother Gaia and recharging. It's like plugging your phone back in. You're a seer, you got to plug your battery in every once in a while, and it's almost like you're shutting this down in order for it to function better. You have to do that. You can't just be turned on all the time. It's getting yourself down into your lower chakras more often. It's very important to alternate the types of meditations that you're doing. Chanting, toning, sound, any kind of sound baths. There are meditations, guided meditations on YouTube. Not guided, but they are sound bath meditations where people are also toning and chanting and singing. It helps in a different way. It helps the alignment of and the balancing of your third eye and your fourth eye here in the back. And the rest of your chakras, whatever it is that you need balancing and aligning with vibration inside of your body. That takes no seeing at all. It is strictly done through being and resonating. You're actually physically resonating with sound. It's really, really effective for grounding yourself and just realigning yourself. It's like a cleansing. Sound cleansing is amazing. All right. I have a back of a paper. I'm an hour and 14 in, and I have the back of the paper. A couple other really important tools. Breath work. If you don't know what I mean by breath work, it's not just the breathing exercises that you do during meditations, or Steve Noble is always talking about breathing in the light and breathing out densities, moving your breath in a certain way. Breath work is a specific modality that has different techniques. There are different breath techniques that access and generate, oxygenate your body, and generate energy in a certain way that activates your third eye, it activates your pineal gland, and it gives you access to other dimensions. It also gets you in touch with certain techniques, get you in touch with your body. You're breathing, you're feeding your body its own life force. And you do it, you don't need anything else for that. And it empowers you, it gives you so much awareness of now. It puts you in the now. It takes you to other places. It is a superpower, mastering breath work. So look into that too. If you need more information about that, definitely get in touch with me. But also there's so much information about it online that you can look up. There are guided meditations that can show you how to do it. There are people who do breath work. They are practitioners who facilitate sessions where they are guiding you. They're intuitive. They are seeing things as well, and they are guiding you through and taking you where you need to go in order to access certain shadows or traumas or amazing events, or being in a space of oneness and being held by Mother Gaia. That was the most amazing experience of my life. So look into that. Look that up. Self-care is so important when you are doing this, because you're like tearing yourself down and carving the way is, like I said, really hard to do. You have to take care of yourself while you're doing it. I take 3 weeks to carve through a new portion of the path, and then I sit back and I rest and I allow somebody else to come up to the lead. And while I'm carving through there, I am reikiing myself. I'm cleansing my aura. I am doing chakra balancing. I'm getting Reiki from other people. I'm taking salt baths to cleanse my energetic field of the debris that I'm releasing. I'm clearing my spaces all the time. I'm clearing them with sound. I'm clearing them with different things. I clear with Palo Santo a lot too, because it's very earthy. It's very grounding. Sometimes I clear with high vibration crystals. Sometimes I clear with my wand, with the energy of unicorns. It just depends on what I'm guided to do, but there are different ways to clear too. I'm doing that depending on what kind of energies or densities or things that have been released or are sitting in the space. Cord cuttings is important to constantly be doing. Cutting cords and attachments to past lives, to the shit that happened last week, the thing that my mother said that is attached to the person who I used to be. There's a lot of different cords that you should be cutting to things that just don't serve you. And it's important to continuously do that. If you reveal something new about somebody who you had already cut a cord with, there may be another level of that cord that needs to be, or another cord from a different lifetime that needs to be cut, or the contract severed, or you've come to the end of the contract, so then it's time to sever the attachment there. Sometimes that you're not ready for that to come to light, but as soon as you see that, as soon as you're made aware of that, as soon as you given access to that lifetime, make sure you're cutting the cord for whatever doesn't serve you from that lifetime with them. Regular massage on your body is really important. releasing the toxins in your muscles. They get stored up, the density, it stays dense in your body, and it's tension, and the energy that gets stored there needs to be released physically through your body. I have a massage therapist that I connected with, that I was guided to, who just does energy exchanges with me. She just does modality exchanges. So, everybody, I know you guys, some of you are thinking, I can't get a massage all the time. It's just so expensive, or it's a luxury. It is maintenance. It is maintenance, and it's important. And if you set the intention that I can only afford this much, or I really do want to be able to, on a regular basis, get massages, and to afford that, they are either going to put someone in your path who is willing to do exchanges, or someone in your path who is really great, who's just learning and doesn't charge very much, or whatever it is. You manifest that. Carve the path for how you want to make that happen by setting the intention. I've talked about TRE a lot. And I'm going to be doing an interview with a practitioner who introduced it to me pretty soon here. But it is trauma release exercises, TRE. If you're not sure what that is, you can look up the information on it too, just to get a description. But when we go into trauma mode, even if we just stub our toe, our body creates trauma energy. It's like our fight or flight response. And there's trauma energy that is then stored up in our muscles, in our tissues, in our organs, in our blood, in our DNA. And our innate ability to balance that out has been conditioned out of us. That ability is evident in animals. You can see that after they have that kind of trauma response, they then shake to balance it out. Like, if a dog gets scared or gets yelled at or something like that, you can see them laying down, like shaking. And it looks like they're really scared, but it's a natural response to balance out that trauma energy. We don't do that anymore. So all of that energy is stored inside of our body and needs to be released. As I have been carving the way, and as I was introduced to that modality and experiencing it for myself, game changer. As I've been experiencing it for myself, I then was upgraded and downloaded the ability to activate people to shake. If you go through something, or if you, for some reason, after being upset, or at any time really, but it usually happens after resonating with a message that someone said on YouTube that triggered a memory or a response or something that really put a puzzle piece into a huge chunk of the puzzle, sometimes it's like your body can't help but shake. And it's just like my legs are shaking, my arms are shaking. I feel kind of cold, but it's not that I'm freezing and I'm shivering, but I feel like I'm just shaking, and it's weird. It feels weird, but I'm telling you, it's not. Lean into it. You are having a release. You have been activated to a shake, to release that trauma energy that has been stored, that is dying to come out. You will thank me for the relaxation that you feel afterwards, seriously. If you're able to, if something like that starts, if you're able to, get yourself to a place where you can allow it. Lay down with your back, put your knees up, put your feet on the ground and put your knees up, and allow your body to shake. If you can just lean into it and get it to, like, it's really hard to let go of your body and let your body do that. But the more you try to shake, the more it's going to just go away. The more you just allow. You may even just need to listen to a meditation or something like that. Listen to music, listen to sound, something to just get your mind off of trying to control your body. Allow your body to shake. The more times you're able to do that, the easier it is to just allow your body to do it. Know that what I am going to do in this video, what I'm doing right now actually, is setting the energy of energetic support in an infinity symbol over top of you, so that if you start this shake, you could draw on the energetic healing support of me, the healing. You're surrounded with it's almost like I can see it right now. It's almost like a golden Christ light pod drawing off the energy of this rainbow infinity symbol. Just know that when you start shaking, it's above you. You're energetically supported. You can just draw on it. Set the intention that, okay, now it may feel a little bit uneasy. You don't need to fear it. You don't need to be scared of it. Even if it gets really, really intense, you don't need to be scared of it. It's healthy. Just even if you may have emotional releases with it too. Draw on the energy of that that healing support that I'm telling you about, and it's going to help to ease it for you. And then afterwards, once the shaking stops, just rest and allow it. And sometimes you'll receive downloads after that. You're going to free up a lot of space. You're going to free up a lot of that debris that's been sitting in there, frees up space for light codes and light downloads to enter into your system. Just lay there and allow them. And then that takes me to the last self-care practice. That is super important. And that is just to rest and to just learn how to be still, listening to your body, knowing that the overwhelm that's happening to you, if you are overwhelmed, the only thing that you can do is to rest, be still. Sometimes that means just taking a nap. Sometimes that means vegging out in front of the television. Sometimes that means going for a walk. Sometimes that means just listening to nature sounds or something. Sometimes it is learning. If you meditate all the time and you constantly listen to meditations, it's allowing yourself to sit in complete silence and close your eyes and just allow yourself to receive energy from whatever guides, whatever angels are around you. Set the intention that, okay, I will receive whatever you want to give me right now. I am worthy of that, and I see you, and I know that you're here to hold me and support me. I don't need to do the work right now. I'm going to let someone else do the work. And you just receive, and you just lay, and you bask. That's what Lloyd calls it, basking. Essentially, it's your own light energy. These angels are reflecting it back to you, but they are going to shine that light on you and make you feel warm and just relaxed. You don't have to do anything. It's very important. You're activated to be able to do that. Clearing out our physical spaces, they're telling me too, is it's like coming up on spring soon, and so they're telling me spring cleaning, but your actual physical environment is obviously as within, so without. It is reflected in your physical space, and it is cluttering up the energy. There's energy clutter inside of you that can be relieved by cleaning out your corners. Some of you have I can see them. Some of you have corners in your house that just gather things. You end up putting stuff in those corners. Purge. One closet at a time. And you're going to clear up spaces within you, shadow spaces within you that you didn't realize were clogged up, that needed that. It may be just little mundane things, but those little tiny things add up. Do those things in your physical space, and you'll see the energetic effect of that. Through all of this process, through this Wayfinder way, we are creating new modalities. I don't need definitions for the things that I do anymore. Someone asks me what I do, I shine my fucking light. I shine my light all the time. I just shine my light. And I can give descriptions of the Reiki that I do, but it's not all Reiki. I do what I'm guided to do. Is it angelic healing? Yeah. Is it quantum healing? Yeah. Is it psychic surgery? Sure. It's whatever they tell me to do. I shine my light and I listen and I heal. And so whatever those new modalities are that we are creating and carving the path for, we hand those back to the Wayshowers, and we're starting to show them and teach them and just saying, look, this is the way that I was doing it. Just the things that I was telling you earlier about how I went back and got my 4-year-old. That maybe that's a new modality. I don't know. take notes and start doing that with other people. Start doing that with your clients if you feel guided to. It has no name to it. There's no name. It just is being guided, and just you're a healer. That's all it is. And so some of those things people are going to put definitions on. Some of those things people are going to have an understanding that this is the way people will resonate with it if I say it in this way. This is the way that it describes it. You guys take that stuff from me. Take whatever it is, however I said it, whatever the energy of that was. Put your definitions on those modalities and pass those along. Pass it on. That's what we're doing as Wayfinders. And also, one last thing. The Soul Family support group. I am creating a Facebook page. It's called the Hawk's Nest. And if you resonate with the energy of this Wayfinder path, then that group is going to be for you. It is going to be a place for us to come together, to support each other, to share the information that we've received on how we did this or this experience that we've had, and be able to help each other take the lead when we're able to take the lead. I have a feeling that a lot of you are going to find members of your soul family, your soul group in that support group. So if you're interested, you can either leave a comment down in the box below. You can send me a message. You can send me an email with your interest in joining that group, and I will supply the link for you. At this point, I don't know that I'm going to open it up to everyone, but I guess we'll just carve the path and see where it goes. If you have made it this far in the video, I fucking love you. You are a warrior. You are one of my people. You have lasted, or you've come back to this video again later, an hour and a half in, and you have put the work in, and I just commend you. You are a warrior. You are a Wayfinder. You are the kind of person that I want in my realm. So I want you to leave a comment below with a rainbow emoji. The people who leave those comments, I just pick and choose a couple of them. Sometimes I'm guided to do a ton of them all in one day. I pick a couple of cards for you, and I read them for you right there on your comments, as a thank you for hanging in there, as a thank you for your commitment to your journey, to your healing, to me, to hanging in there, to this channel, and to this collective. So make sure you do that. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, share, and yeah, fucking love you guys. Talk to you soon.